Imagine a country so powerful that the entire world thinks twice before provoking it. That's the United States of America. The moment American jets fly overhead, enemies scatter. When American warships appear near disputed waters, tensions instantly rise. The world doesn't just respect America's military power, it fears it. And there are good reasons why. From high-tech weapons to unmatched global reach, America has built a military machine that can fight anywhere, anytime. But how did it get here? Why does this fear still exist in 2025? Let's uncover the secrets of the most feared military force on Earth. It all started with World War II. Before then, America wasn't the superpower we know today. But once it entered the war, everything changed. The US didn't just help win the war, it reshaped the entire planet. From the beaches of Normandy to the islands of the Pacific, American troops showed the world they could win on any battlefield. And after the war ended, America didn't slow down. Instead, it built a military force that kept growing and growing while most other countries were still recovering. This gave the US a huge head start. By the time the Cold War began, America had nuclear weapons, and not just a few. It had enough to wipe out entire continents. The idea of mutually assured destruction meant that no one wanted to start a fight. Even the Soviet Union, a superpower in its own right, hesitated at the thought of war with the US. The fear wasn't just about the weapons, it was about the precision, the speed, and the size of the American military. The world watched as the US built bases in dozens of countries, launched aircraft carriers that acted like floating cities, and trained soldiers that could deploy in hours, not days. The Gulf War in 1991 proved something shocking. In just 100 hours of ground fighting, the US crushed one of the largest armies in the Middle East. People around the world couldn't believe what they were seeing on TV. Smart bombs flew through windows. Tanks rolled across deserts like it was nothing. America's military technology was far ahead of anything anyone else had. And that wasn't even the peak. After 9/11, the fear only grew. The US launched two major wars, one in Afghanistan, one in Iraq. Whether or not you agree with those wars, the message was clear. If you attack the United States, it will come for you, no matter where you are. Drone strikes, special forces raids, satellite surveillance. America developed tools to hunt enemies in mountains, deserts, cities, or even deep underground. No one felt safe. But what makes America's military so scary isn't just firepower, it's the global reach. The US has over 700 military bases around the world. That means at any moment it can launch missions from multiple locations. Its aircraft carriers alone are like moving countries. Each one holds thousands of people, dozens of aircraft, and enough firepower to take over a small nation. And the US has more of these than all other countries combined. Then there's the budget. The United States spends more on its military than the next 10 countries combined. That money goes into everything: fighter jets that can't be detected by radar, submarines that can stay underwater for months, and cyber units that can hack enemy systems before a war even begins. America's military isn't just on land, air, and sea. It's also in space and cyberspace. That's why no one dares to go head-to-head directly with it. Think about it. When North Korea makes threats, the first question everyone asks is, how will the US respond? When Russia invaded Ukraine, the world didn't just look to Europe, they looked to Washington. Because when America steps in, everything changes. Allies feel safer. Enemies become cautious. Even global organizations like NATO depend heavily on American military strength. Without the US, many alliances would collapse overnight. Another reason the world fears the US military is its unpredictability. While American leaders talk about peace and diplomacy, they also make it clear they're not afraid to use force. From Osama bin Laden's compound in Pakistan To ISIS leaders hiding in Syria, the message is the same. If you're a threat, the US will find you. It might take time, but it will happen. This gives America a psychological edge. People don't just fear what the US can do, they fear not knowing when or how it will act. Let's not forget America's Special Operations Forces. Units like Navy SEALs, Delta Force, and the Green Berets are trained to handle missions so dangerous most armies wouldn't even attempt them. These teams operate in total secrecy, often deep inside enemy territory, and they usually succeed. Their missions have changed the course of wars, and the fear of them alone can cause terrorist groups or enemy leaders to go into hiding. Now, some people think American military power is declining, but here's the truth. It's evolving. Today's warfare isn't just about tanks and jets. It's about information, satellites, artificial intelligence, and cyber warfare. And America is leading in these areas too. In fact, some of the most dangerous battles are now fought silently in cyberspace. Power grids, financial systems, and communication networks can all be targets. And the US has built cyber commands that can shut down enemy systems with a few keystrokes. Then there's space. Yes, space. The US created a separate branch of the military called the Space Force. Sounds like science fiction, right? But it's real. Because satellites control everything from GPS to missile tracking to communication. If those go down, modern warfare collapses. America understands this and is already preparing for wars that could happen in orbit. So, is all this power a good thing? That depends on who you ask. America says it uses its power to protect freedom and maintain peace. Critics say it sometimes uses that power unfairly. But either way, the fear is real, because no other country can do what America can do. Not China, not Russia, not anyone. And that fear changes global politics every single day. There's also the training. American soldiers go through some of the toughest training in the world. They're not just taught how to shoot. They're taught how to survive, how to adapt, and how to lead. This makes American units more flexible and effective in real-life situations. Whether it's a humanitarian crisis or a full-scale war, the U.S. military is ready. Let's talk numbers. The U.S. has over 1.3 million active-duty personnel. Its Navy operates more than 10 aircraft carriers. Its Air Force flies over 13,000 aircraft. Its nuclear triad means it can launch nuclear weapons from land, sea, or air. No country has that level of flexibility, and the technology keeps advancing. Hypersonic missiles, robotic drones, AI-powered systems, all of it is being tested and deployed. And it's not just hardware. The U.S. has intelligence networks that reach every corner of the globe. Agencies like the CIA and NSA gather information that helps prevent wars before they even start. That kind of advantage is priceless. While other countries guess, America often knows. And knowing its power. Now you might be wondering, what if someone does challenge the U.S.? Would America really go to war? Well, history says yes. The U.S. has intervened in conflicts on every continent. Sometimes it's about national interest. Other times it's about protecting allies. Either way, the message is consistent. America doesn't back down easily. And when it fights to win. Even America's enemies know this. That's why most conflicts today are indirect. Cyber attacks, proxy wars, disinformation campaigns. No one wants a head-on collision with the American military because they know how it ends. Painfully, quickly, completely. But the fear isn't just about destruction. It's also about dominance. America can fly over your country without warning. It can launch drones that hover for days. It can listen to your phone calls, track your movements, and freeze your bank accounts. That kind of control terrifies both enemies and allies. Because it means the US has the power to not just win wars, but to prevent them before they begin. And yet, America keeps upgrading. New aircraft carriers are being built, new fighter jets are rolling off production lines, new strategies are being developed to deal with China, Russia, and future threats. The US isn't standing still. It's preparing for the next 50 years of warfare. So, why does the world still fear American military power? Because it's not just big. It's everywhere. It's fast. It's smart. And it works. From the streets of Baghdad to the seas of the Pacific, from cyberspace to outer space, America has shown again and again that when it decides to act, no one can stop it. That's not just power, that's fear. And that fear shapes everything, from how countries build their own militaries to how they talk to each other. Every deal, every treaty, every alliance, somewhere behind it is the quiet understanding that if America gets involved, the outcome will be different. Because it's not just a country, it's a superpower unlike any other. And that's why the world still fears the United States military.